What's up, everyone? Beast Mode back with another match review. This is match round 2. I had a first round bye at Worlds because of seeding, and players that had the most tops had seeding, and some players had buys. So this is from Edison Worlds or RBET rulers. Everybody here was invited to the tournament. You had to either top 8 in RBET tournament, which there were 5 of. Or there was a charity event, there were some invites given out then, and there was a last chance qualifier. So pretty much everybody here top 8 at a tournament. There were a few invites that passed down. When people already had an invite who topped, it would pass down to 9th, 10th place, whatever, depending on how many invites were passed down. So so I had a round 1 bye, so this is round 2 in Worlds, and I'm playing Zulz. I'm not sure what they're playing. I didn't see what they were playing round 1, so we'll get into the review, see what we could have done better, see some of the plays that were questionable. So we'll get into it. So let's see. I think they went first. Actually, I went first. So my hand is Necrogodner and Book of Life. It's not bad. It's just not the greatest. It's playable. So here, you could have just not said anything. That's fine too. Again, I don't know what they're playing. So I just set the Necrogodner here. It's pretty safe if they set Raikou. If it's a value deck or something, can always flip this and try to attack things. So pretty standard opening here. Let's see what happens. Oh, so they're on Lightsworn, so they opened Recharge, which is really good. They mill Aaron. They get another recharge, so 2 recharge. This is really a good opening for Lightsworn. They Gold Sark, Cold Wave. They charge. Yeah. So this is the reason why people play this deck, right? Because if it's your day, you just win. If you're milling everything, if you open like this, it's really hard to lose the game. But there are times where you just brick with the deck. So a lot of people correlate Lightsworn with, they call them Luxworn, or you have to be pretty lucky with the deck, because this deck can single-handedly take you to finals of a tournament just by opening like this. So let's see what happens here. Lumina. I'm going to grab Aaron. So now, this is not a good situation here. Obviously, my guy is going back to the deck. So here's a key thing here. We don't drop Tragodia here. There's no reason to. Only taking 1,000 damage, and you don't have a follow-up play with it, so you just hold Tragodia here. So end phase, they're going to mill. 6 cards. Good. So what do we draw here? We draw Gore. So our hand is, at this point, we see the way that they opened up bananas, right? And the graveyard's already set up. They have seen, 3/4 of their deck already. At this point, my goal is I am not going to win this game, likely. I pretty much accept the fact that I'm not going to win this game. Plus, I don't have a playable monster. So my goal is I'm just going to maybe try a deck out route. So if any of you guys played in 2009, that format was heavily run by Lightsworn. And Zombies was another deck that was played. And at the time, I actually played in SJC Tennessee or YCS Tennessee. I'm not sure when the name changed, but it was predominantly Lightsworn. But at the time, you could play Zombies, and you could play triple Tragodia, triple Battle Fader, and Gores. That's actually what I ran at that tournament. And I actually got 22nd place. I lost last round to Pat Hoban in time. And I actually decked him out. I was decking out a lot of Lightsworn players, because what would happen was they would just, and Lightsworn at the time was crazy. They had 3 charge, they had 2 JDs. Their deck, I think they had 3 Necrogodner. Like, the deck was pretty much full strength. So what I would do is, with all the Battle Faders and everything, I would just drop Battle Fader, go. They would mill 10 cards, draw, drop Tragodia. I remember one game against Pat Hoban, I had Sangan set, and I had already used 2 Battle Faders. He attacked the Sangan. I searched the last Battle Fader and decked him out. So that's how I was beating a lot of players that day. So Lightsworn, it's another win condition. If you don't have a playable hand, you're already down a lot of cards, you can deck them out, especially when you have Tragodia and Gore. So this is kind of where my goal is now. I'm shifting to maybe I can steal a game here with a deck out. Because just trying to, I don't have the hand to be able to play out of this. This is crazy. So let's see here. I'm guessing I just pass. Actually, no, we don't. So we do have a play. That's right. So we can make a decision for a level 6 play, or we make Catastor. So level 6 play here, there is one Honest revealed. If I take Aaron and make Goyo and I attack, I could run into Honest. Um, so I think that we make Catastor here. So the other play is I could literally just pass my turn and take damage and then make them mill another 6 cards. That's also a possibility. But if I don't play anything, it pretty much tells them that I have a Gorz or Tragodia in my hand. Like last turn, I took a direct attack. I didn't drop anything, so I haven't given them a read yet. So in this situation here, I'm fine with ending with Catastor. They have 3 cards, and they have to have Judgment Dragon or something specific to out it. And there's a Judgment Dragon, which makes sense. Like, see how many cards they played. So we're gonna destroy the board. I'm gonna drop Tragodia here. He runs it over, and he's end phase milling, and mills the second JD, but mills the wolf too. So we draw Spirit Reaper here, which is good. I can set it, and they got 10 cards left in deck. I can set it. They're just going to blow up the board and attack me directly anyway. But that's really the only play we have. So we do it. This game's not looking good, and so I don't understand this. I don't understand. Like, this could be anything. He doesn't know if I play Rykos or not. Like, I don't know why you just don't blow up the board, because these cards are not. Sure, it's damage, but you would deal 3,000 direct. So attacking here is a mistake on my opponent's part, I feel. Obviously, he's going to blow up main phase 2. Oh, actually, he forgot. That's right, he forgot Gold Sark. So he actually played Gold Sark first turn, but it got caught in the middle of like milling and the crazy opening he had. So neither of us actually remembered, but I think someone messaged him and said that he needs to get the Gold Sark because it's mandatory. Like, you don't get to miss that. Banish one card, yeah, during a second standby. So you get it. The problem is Cold Wave specifically says it has to be activated main phase 1, and we're already through battle phase and everything. So he can get it, but he obviously isn't able to play it this turn, which is fine. I don't think it changes a whole lot, but well, I guess I wouldn't be able to Book of Life here, but I still have Gorz. So we've the Book of Life here. So our goal obviously is 100% to deck him out. At this point, there's no other way we can win this game. The thing I'm looking for here is Plague Spreader Zombie, because that's the one card that could out his own board, so he doesn't deck out. But it's not been milled yet. So I can make the argument of not playing Book of Life right now and waiting to hit the Plague and just like passing. So they chain the Necrogana, which is not needed, because if I target Necrogana, they can just chain it then. So it doesn't matter anyway. I'm not doing any attacking, but we grab Spirit Reaper and we just pass. So I'm expecting Cold Wave now at this point. That would make sense. That way you just lock up the game. I told him he pretty much drew crazy. I don't think I'm going to win this game. He has the Ryko play. Oh, this is the reason he never actually ended up playing the Cold Wave, because he wants to Monster Reincarnate. So again, still no Plague Spreader Zombie in the graveyard. So the last card in the deck is Plague Spreader, which wins me the game here actually, because I have the Gorz drop, and now I just draw and win. Yeah, so the last card in the deck is Plague Spreader Zombie, which just happened to be really lucky on my part here. Because if Plague is in the graveyard, he could stack and then make Brio and then bounce his Dark Arm, and then he doesn't mill, and then still has the 1 card left, or 2 cards left, because he stacked for Plague. Again, this is a little sloppy, this game. It's it's my first game. It's Worlds, so everybody's a little nervous. But so we ended up decking the opponent out here with a very poor hand. Obviously, I'm not sure if, looking at it now, the Cold Wave play might have made a difference. I wouldn't have been able to Cold Wave then. I would have had to drop Gorz on that attack. I'm not sure, but either way, this is a way you can really beat Lightsworn if you're down. Sometimes just trying to resort to decking them out is the play. And the biggest mistake of this whole game was really the attacking into the Spirit Reaper, because that bought me another turn. If they just blow up the board, I lose. So the cold wave is one thing. That's not even really the issue here. The issue is the fact that they had, a Gareth, the dragon, and the wolf on the board, and decided to attack my face down monster rather than just blowing up the board and hitting me directly for 3,000. So I wouldn't even been in this situation. So I think this is a little bit sloppy, more so on my opponent's end. But anyway, we're going to get into the next game. Again, this is Worlds. Everybody's nervous. I think that they got a little excited. They saw how broken their hand was, and they were just milling cards, and didn't really pay attention to the fact that they didn't have many cards left to mill. So my hand here is typical beast mode side decking. I'm putting in Cyber Dragons just because they run over a lot of their guys. Smashing Grounds are going in. I take out a lot of the Book of Life, and a lot of those cards, a lot of the Zombie Core, I kind of side deck out. I've been doing it for months. I've had a lot of success with it, so that's what I do. So in this situation here, I think Sangan Summon is probably the best, because if you see a face down monster in Lightsworn, you just assume it's like Raikou. If I go Cyber Dragon Sangan, they're just gonna kill the Cyber Dragon. So that's what we do here. For whatever reason, I can never seem to get lucky enough to hit a Raikou. Like if you ever watch any of my other matches, I always summon into Hamster every time, no matter what the deck is. But that's just part of the game. You try to make a read, and it's a higher chance that it's a Raikou than it is a Hamster, especially in Lightsworn, because I don't know how many of these things they play, but I know they play more Raikous. So I don't think there's much different I would have done there. This card here I don't see a lot of. I'm not very familiar with it. Neither player can target Lightsworn monster, so this is a little tricky. So I can't mind control that specific card, which is fine. So I search Diva here, which is pretty much what I search most of the time with Sangan. It's really the third Diva. So I heavy here, just to secure the synchro play, because I'm already kind of, if this play doesn't go down, I'm really behind because of the Raikou on the board and the fact that they have active Miller on the board here, and I can't target it. So heavying here, I never really like to heavy 1-for-1. I prefer to try to bait it or set it for a while to try to really get the +1, but sometimes you're put in a situation where you need a play to stick, and I felt that this would be the time. So they book it. It's fine. I was going to mind control the Hamster anyway. I don't play Raikou. You can make the argument to mind control the I could have Cyber Dragon first, mind control the Raikou, flip the Raikou, and I can't target this, so I would have to target the Hamster, and then I could have summoned the Diva then and made like a 7 play. I don't play level 4 Armory Arm, so I feel like this just is the better play from the way my deck is built, because I don't play Armory Arm. If I played Armory Arm, you can make the argument to go Cyber Dragon, Diva, Mind Control. It's hard to, there's really not a lot of deck space or extra deck space in this deck at all, and I just feel like there's not enough times where I ever really make Armory Arm, although there's a few games that I've reviewed that I mentioned that I could have gone into it. So really the only time you're going to do it is if you play Vayu Turbo, where they play a bunch of Raikou, maybe Quick Draw, but this would have been an instance I could have done it. So we're just going to go level 6 here. So this guy, I talked in other videos, we just make him when we don't care about the synchro at all. If this goes to the graveyard, we just don't care. Making Bryonic here, we don't want to do. This is a free ladder up. This is when we make him. So we're going to go into Stardust knowing that that's a Raikou face down, and I don't know. I smash here because I'm not entirely sure of the room. I was going to smash anyway just because I don't want an honest play, but I was unsure if I attack that. If I don't think Stardust targets, but so I just smash beforehand anyway. I'm pretty sure the Stardust doesn't target the Raikou, so it would have been fine, but I don't play against a lot of Lightsworn at all because it's just not very common. Once you get through the first few rounds of a big tournament, usually they're already in losers bracket unless they're playing pretty well. I think I've only seen a few top earlier RBETs, so I don't have a lot of experience against this deck, other than when I actually played 12 years ago or something. But let's see here. Um, so I have a Stardust on the board. It's pretty easily outed with an honest play, which is what's happening here. So I smashed the Arcus anyway, just so I don't die to the honest, but I'm going to get honest anyway, which is fine. I have a bottomless set, double cyber in hand. So only card that really hurts here, obviously with my hand, is Royal Oppression. So I draw a DD Crow. This card's not particularly great against Lightsworn from what I understand. You kind of have to play it prophylactically or preventatively just to try to like stop them from dropping the Judgment Dragon by like looking at the graveyard and making sure that you keep them on off of 4 Lightsworn names, or just trying to keep them from the ability of summoning it. So it's okay. At least it's some type of interaction. But so we try to drop Cyber Dragon here, which would be Royal Oppression. So that card really hurts our hand here. That's okay because they also can't special summon. So we take 1,000. It's not a big deal. We eat those like Scooby snacks. Not a great meal for him. So we draw a Necro Gardener here, which is perfect because the Lumina can't run over it. Raikou is fine. So once Necro Gardener's in the graveyard, we feel a little bit more comfortable. We know that we're not going to die just out of nowhere. You can stop an attack here, and he milled Necro Gardener as well. So we'll take the damage here. It's not much. We still have what, three turns or so before we die. He's going to try to special summon the wolf, and I think I'm going to negate that with the Royal Oppression. So we draw a Plague Spreader here. What are we going to do here? So again, down to 8 cards in the deck. I'm just not sure this is how you play Lightsworn, because this person has put themselves in a position to being decked out 2 games in a row now, and I'm just not playing into any of it. And like, I haven't really done a whole lot this game. He sat here and just attacked me with a Luminar every turn, and I'm like, okay, like that's fine. So I think here just summoning the Plague Spreader is the play, because we can run over the Raikou, and then my thought is that he wants to get rid of the Royal Oppression now because it's probably hurting them more than me. Yeah, it's got JD in his hand. So if he does have like a Celestia, where is it? Right here. I have a bottomless response, so they would have to tribute the Lumina, and then I can bottomless the Celestia if that's the play. So I think that's what we do. And also, we could decide to Necro Gardener, and then we have a way to tribute out the Cyber Dragon. So I think this just makes sense. So 7 cards left. I'm perfectly fine if they just attack here. So this is actually probably the best Crow will ever be against this match, in this matchup, because now I get a +1 off of DD Crow, and which is great, because if I don't have DD Crow here, he's gonna grab the Judgment Dragon, MST his own Royal Oppression, and I can only stop 1 and I die actually. So Crow actually wins me the game here. So again, this is a bad situation. When you're MSTing your own Royal Oppression, this is not good. So Judgment Dragon, I have they use priority. I have bottomless, so we're in a great situation right here. Granted, I can't use Cyber Dragon. I have Necro Guard in the graveyard. 3,000 life. I'm not dying anytime soon. They're top decking. So I could have stacked for Plague and like sacked for Cyber Dragon. I just don't feel that's necessary. Then I'm locking up my draw. There's no pressure on the board. They have, 7 cards left in the deck. I think just sitting here and playing very slow is fine. We draw another Brain Control here. I think that this is fine to just pass. That's what we do. So they gave us a monster, which what we were looking for here. So we don't like Black Rose. There's no reason to do that. We just attack. They Necro Gardener. So this reads to me that they have a tribute of some sort. Um, I don't set the MST. I think I'm kind of keeping this in my hand in case because this deck doesn't play many spell traps anyway. Already 2 Royal Oppression in the graveyard, so at least it gives me something that I can just stack for Plague at some point, rather than losing an Allure or Brain or something. So here's a decision I make. I can let this attack go through, and take the 200, and then next turn Brain Control, stack for Plague, and make a level 7. But also, I'm playing to the fact that if I Necrogon here and I top deck a Goblin Zombie, I can then Brain Control, stack for Goblins for the Plague Spreader, and then I can make a Synchro, a 21, and then take and attack, essentially attack for game. So I think the best play here is to Necrogodner, just to keep the Cyber Dragon on the board for a potential win next turn, which is what we do. And we, in fact, draw a Goblin Zombie. It didn't matter if it was Pyramid Turtle, it could have been either. So we're going to stack that MST, which is useless. Actually, we're going to get a nice shuffle with the deck too, because we're using the Goblin Zombie. So we make Brio here, because that's fine too. And they actually, they know the 4 cards left in the deck, I believe, is what they say in the chat. Yeah, 50% of the deck is Wolf, because there's only 1 in the graveyard. So here we would have searched for the Mizuki. We could set a lure, pitch Mizuki, bounce a lure back to our hand, and then we could just Brain Control, and that's game. Unless they have Gores, which is in the graveyard. They would have to specifically have Trag for them to not lose right there. So this is round 2 of Worlds. Little sloppy game 1, with the whole Cold Wave interaction, but I think specifically the part that was wrong was attacking the face down monster when you have a JD on the board. Like, I think you just pay 1,000 and blow up the board and attack directly, and then Cold Wave wouldn't matter at all at that point. So game 1 was kind of a cool way to win with the deck out. That doesn't happen often, but as you can see, there is some level of skill to playing Lightsworn. I'm not saying my opponent was bad. I'm just saying this does not look like a strong display of Lightsworn when you're almost decking out every single time. So sometimes the deck is so explosive, like game 1, where you just solar recharge, charge, mill, and then next thing you know, you weren't able to kill the opponent through all that, and now they're kind of crawling back in, and you don't have enough resources left, and your deck is kind of it's just too small, and this deck really mills every turn. So sometimes kind of drawing all that gas and not being able to really finish off the game put my opponent in a bad position. So next we will have round 3 of Worlds, and obviously if you you can point out anything you like in the comments of things I could have done better, what my opponent might have could have done differently, and we'll get on to the next one. So I'll see y'all later.